guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today's going to be about how I do my brows. I have very sparse brows. There's not a lot of hair. I over plucked when I was in high school, and they're very, very light. You can hardly see them. And they stick out in all sorts of crazy directions. So my brows are kind of insane. Obviously, I look a little strange right now. My eyebrows will probably look very dark, but for the purpose of this video, I made them a little dark so that I could see what I was doing in the bright lights. No, my brows are not done. This is not how I leave them, but I can't actually do start from the very beginning on camera because I have to be up close in a magnified mirror to do my brows. They're so light, I can barely see them, and I actually got a permanent makeup on them a long time ago, but it's faded so much that I can hardly see it anymore. So, and that's natural, that kind of happens. The oil in your skin and washing your face and sun exposure will make your permanent makeup fade, and mine faded very quickly. So I have to get up into a magnified mirror really close so that I can actually see where my hairs are and where I want my brows to go. So I can't do it on camera because you wouldn't be able to see it. So we're just gonna start out like this. So all I've done so far is use the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Definer. They have a brow pencil that's just a normal pencil tip, but the brow definer is shaped differently. It's much easier to do your brows, and I love it. I will probably never use any other brow pencil other than this one right here. Let me zoom in so you can see what's happening. Here's the pencil, but it's shaped like this. I don't know how clear that is. The first thing I do is I take the pencil and I hold it this way, and I draw a line from the bottom of my brow all the way to the end. And then I do the same thing on the top. I go from the top of the brow and draw a line all the way down. My eyebrows don't actually start until about right over here. So I actually, once I do that first line where I follow my actual brow line, then I take the pencil and I bring it down a little farther down here. I don't like how it looks when my brows don't come all the way into here. They look a little strange and I feel like I look like an alien. So I actually draw my brows in a little farther towards my nose, towards the center of my nose. And then I just go and I fill it in with a pencil. So I've literally just traced the outline of my brows and extended it where I wanted and filled it in with this pencil. Then I'm going to go ahead and take the spoolie end and I'm going to soften it up a lot. I'm not raking at my brows, I'm not destroying my skin, but I am softly taking it through and distributing the product so it looks a lot softer. And you might ask, well, why don't you just start in with a softer hand and not make it so dark? But if you still want to even no matter how light you make it, you still want to distribute the product. So you can already tell the difference between this brow and this brow. This one's a lot softer. To lighten up my brows, I use I actually have no idea what pencil or what brush this is. I believe it's an Anastasia Beverly Hills brush. It's really thin, and I like the end because it's a little thick. It's not super thin. And I take my MAC Mineralized Skin Finish in the shade Light, and I put that on my brush, and then I take it through my brows, and I put it on pretty heavy. Putting a powder on top will not only lighten up my brows, obviously, but it will also give it a little dimension and not look so much like you've got nothing but pencil on your skin. It makes it look a little bit more natural. I mean, as natural as we can be when we are literally drawing on our eyebrows. And I just take it and I fill in all the spots and make it as even colored as possible. And I do like my tails to be a little darker, so I won't fill those in as much. And now you're probably thinking it looks like my brows have completely disappeared. That's okay. It won't stay that way. So I take my spoolie again and I brush the product through. And then I go in with Benefit's Industrial Strength Concealer in the shade 1. I believe it's called Boy-ing, and it's just a little cream concealer pod. And I take a Sigma F75 concealer brush and I put the edge side, I put one of the sides of the edges into the cream, into the concealer, and I go along my brows. This cleans it up, sharpens it up, and makes it look a lot neater. And I just outline my brows with this. Now this shade actually used to match my skin a lot better before, but I got some sun, even though I know it doesn't look like it because I'm super pale, but this is actually some sun for me. And I just go around the whole brow and blending the product out. And you don't have to use this concealer. Whatever concealer you have should work. Even if it's just a liquid concealer. I just like this because it's a lot easier to work with for my brows. And then I'll just go back in and kind of fill out where I need to with a very, very light hand. And any touch-ups I need to make over and over again. And on camera it probably looks a lot lighter, but in person it just looks natural. I'm gonna go ahead and do the same thing to my other brow. And there you have it. That is how I do my brows. Now, on camera they might look really light, but in person they look just natural. They match my hair, and they don't look so drawn on and fake. And obviously my brows are drawn on, but this just makes them look as natural as I possibly can. And I don't like to do the whole like Instagram brows. I'm not about that. I want them to look as natural as I can with as much stuff as I have to do to them. I also like to go in and clean up any of the mistakes I make with my brow pencil in the beginning with these little pointed Q-tips. They are from the brands Whispers or whatever they are. Wherever you can find, Walmart, Walgreens, Target. I just like them because they're pointed and they just clean up a lot easier around my edges. And some days my brows are worse than others and they will stick out in so many different directions. So I would go ahead and use Anastasia Beverly Hills clear brow gel. This stuff is like glue. And I will just take it and run it through my brows to hold them in place as much as possible with my stubborn little guys. I know this might seem like a lot of steps for everyday brows, but this is what I do every single day. And sometimes it can take me about 10 minutes if my brows are not cooperating. And of course, your eyebrows, like they always say, they're sisters, not twins, so they don't have to look exactly the same, but I try to make mine look as similar as possible without going too far away from my natural brow. And that's also pretty easy for me since my brows are so light. I can pretty much do whatever I want with them every day. And they do constantly change from year to year. My brows have always looked different. And they'll probably change next year, hopefully for the better. But if this is too many steps for you, hopefully in your brow routine you're missing something and it's just not, you can't figure out what you need to do differently. Maybe one of the steps that I've used is just what you need. So anyways, guys, that's it for this video. I hope it was helpful. I hope you learned something new. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you subscribe so I can see you in my next video. Bye, guys. Really? Every single time. Today is going to be all about how, I can't see with these lights. Hello? That doesn't make any sense. Filming. Okay, there's no point in doing that. Yeah, no. I swear, you're gonna be like featured in every one of my videos. Why? Gosh, this is so hard to explain when you don't know what you're gonna say. And on some days, if